Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us at this news hour on Equinoxe Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Babla Jonathan. In our top stories in this edition of the news, another death, another tragedy. 2 persons killed, the son of Esu and his wife, by armed men in the northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. We shall bring to you updates with our correspondents in the northwest region of the country. After more than 2 weeks out of the classrooms with their chalks down in Operation Dead Chalk, the teachers have finally received answers from the government, notably the President of the Republic, who has instructed government to take action in order to solve the problems of the teachers, to bring answers to the plight of the teachers. However, they seem not to be satisfied yet with the decision taken so far by the head of state. They are still demanding for more. They want to see the concrete actions that will be taken to solve the plight. Death again hitting the northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon in the context of the more than 5-year-long armed conflict going on there. Another tragedy recorded, the son of Esu and his wife killed by armed men. And this is the latest of such tragedies, the killings, destruction of properties, maiming going on in the 2 English-speaking regions of the Republic of Cameroon for close to 6 years today. Frederick Tucker is on the line to whom.
Very much, Babila Jonathan. I'm presently in Womb, where I've been able to gather some information. It is confirmed that the son of Esu and the first wife were killed. They were ambushed by heavily armed men using sophisticated weapons, and they were ambushed when they were coming back from the ceremony to present the new son of Way. Actually, we have also gathered that the second wife of the son and one notable were also wounded during this confrontation or during this ambush. It is unclear who carried on this attack, even though there are accusations. But the senior divisional officer of Menchum has just paid a visit in Esu. He just came back as I'm speaking now, but we are still waiting for the communique to maybe better elucidate what really happened. There is a lot of tension in Esu, a lot of tension also in the environment where this incident took place, and pointing fingers to the Mbororo community, and some inhabitants of Esu have gone so far burning the mosque belonging to the Fulani communities.
Electricity, poor electric energy supply remains a major problem across the Republic of Cameroon. In this newscast, we're taking you to the Senegal Maritime Division, where there's been a problem of electric energy supply in several parts of that administrative unit. Some of the areas have gone without electricity for over a year today. Malaglory reports.
Broken electric poles, damaged power lines. This has resulted to power outage for over a year in Kongela Osa village, the Senegal Maritime Division of the littoral region. The situation has further exposed the inhabitants to insecurity as they now live in the dark. According to the village head, the company in charge of supplying electricity has failed the people. It's been 1 year and a month that we have been living in darkness. The Director General of Sofacam promised to replace the fallen posts, but since then nothing has been done. And for the government, we haven't received anything from them. With dark evenings, nursing mothers suffer. TV sets and other electronics have no use. Fridge and freezers now used as a packing store.
Today
the fridge is now used as a store. As a nursing mother, I can't iron my baby's clothes. The people of this locality now live off the grid. As the children find it difficult to study, they now turn to other sources of energy. The children are forced to use candle lights to study, and for 5 children it can be very challenging buying it. We call on the authorities to come to our aid. The people of Kongela Osa locality, just like other Cameroonians, highly depend on hydroelectricity for most of their activities, and when that is taken away, the people become vulnerable. They now call on the authorities to intervene in order to restore lights in the village.
After several weeks out of the classrooms, the teachers have started receiving response from the government with instructions from the head of state addressing the government to take action to respond to the plight of the teachers. However, some of the teachers are saying that they are waiting to see the result of the concrete actions expected from the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reforms in view of bringing answers, appropriate answers to the plight. Now, Inosedazi takes us back to what's been happening for the past more than 2 weeks now as far as this strike action is concerned.
Of government teachers began since February 14, 2022, with open letters addressed to the government of Cameroon. The letters decried injustice suffered by these teachers who say enough is enough. Enough is enough. The strike, dubbed Dead Chalk, was to last 5 days, but the silence of the government authorities resulted to its prolongation from February 28 to March the 4th. This in order to instigate government take definite solutions. Even at this, authorities were not quick to act, prompting some students in schools to protest in favor of their teachers, demanding Yaoundé to pay their teachers who have stopped impacting them knowledge. These disgruntled teachers promised not to step feet in their classrooms unless all their grievances are addressed.
First of all, we have people without no salaries who are working, people with half salaries, people with grown-ups that are not coming out, people with advancements that are going nowhere.
We need automatic development, automatic advancements.
On Tuesday, March 1, the Prime Minister ordered the convening of a meeting that lasted 8 hours to look into the grievances posed by teachers' trade unions. This was to enable the administration work out plans towards addressing the demands made by the unions. Following the meeting between the government and the striking trade unions, all actors of the education sector were invited to resume their normal activities while waiting for measures to be taken by the government. They agreed to give the government time to treat the tabled request of teachers and encouraged all stakeholders of the sector to continue activities normally. The Minister, Secretary General at the Prime Minister's office, appeals to trade unions to be patient with the government, which is still dealing with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and other crises facing the country. On March 7, the Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic of Cameroon, Cyclone Gombe, issued a release of President Paul Biya's order for the disbursement of the sum of 2.7 billion francs CFA to the basic and secondary education ministries for the payment of arrears of the teachers who marked the June 2020 and the 2021 session exams organized by the Baccalaureate Office. In another release on March 9, signed by Cyclone Gombe still, President Paul Biya ordered that salaries and benefits of all striking teachers be paid as from March 2022. Among other orders, the Ministry of Public Service and Administrative Reforms should accelerate the integration process of those whose files have already been collected. The signatory of the decision. Integration into the public service should be automatic as soon as they are near completion of studies. The Ministry of Communication was also ordered to, on Thursday, February 10, hold a press conference with the Ministries of Finance, Public Service, Basic and Secondary Educations to inform the striking teachers on measures that the government has taken to solve their problems. In spite of all these government actions to encourage teachers to resurrect their dead chalk, the knowledge givers are yet to effectively resume teaching in government schools across the national territory.
Now a recap of the financial measures taken by the President of the Republic in response to the plight of teachers. And the financial measures include payment of monthly salary complements to teachers, holders or not of decree of integration, payment of non-lodging indemnities due to teachers who are not receiving it, clear all payments as from the month of March to the month of May 2022, and in a progressive manner taking into account promotion arrears, non-lodging indemnities and salary complements owed teachers. Proceed with sequential payments as from June 2022 of dues of advancement and reclassification of teachers. Now, here are the details of the administrative measures taken by the head of state in response to the grievances of government school teachers in the country. They include render the constitution of integration documents for teachers systematic before the end of their training, the systematic submission of files of ENS, that is the Higher Teachers Training College, and insert graduates at the regional delegation or central services of the Ministry of Public Service and Administrative Reforms where necessary. Urgently treat integration files already at the Ministry of Public Service and Administrative Reforms and do an exhaustive balance sheet of the integration files of teachers on course at the Ministry of Secondary Education and the Ministry of Basic Education. Dematerialize and the dematerialization and the simplification of procedures for the treatment of integration files into the public service. Proceed with sequential payments as from June 2022 of dues of advancement and reclassification of teachers. These are the details of the financial and administrative measures taken by the President of the Republic in response to the plight of government school teachers who've been on strike for more than 2 weeks now. On to something else now. Cardiologists are brainstorming on how to better handle health issues, notably related to acute rheumatic fever, which is one of the leading causes of heart failure when not treated at an early stage. They are meeting here in Cameroon's Economic Cup to Douala. Malaglo reports.
Acute rheumatic fever remains a major public health concern in Cameroon and Africa as a whole. About 6% of children within the age range of 5 to 15 years old are suffering with the disease in Africa, with more than 2 million deaths already registered.
We have done a study in 7 countries, include around 3,000 patients. We had 1,300 patients who need cardiac surgery, and only 27 were operated. And these people are going to die. It's so sad.
Rheumatic fever may develop after a strep throat or scarlet fever, and if not treated early enough, it could result to a long-term heart damage as it weakens the valves.
The problem is simple. You have a sore throat, you have to treat sore throat. You have to elevate the level of life of the population, and after this can disappear. If you don't treat all the sore throat, you will have valvular heart lesion, which are very severe, and at least you need surgery. And surgery, valve replacement or valve repair is very cost effective. around 3 to 5 million. It's not affordable for population who are very poor.
Faced with a high prevalence rate, the Cameroon Cardiac Society is determined to reduce the number of cases or completely eradicate the disease. It is for this reason that the stakeholders are currently attending a congress in the city of Douala.
So the main goal of this conference is to make the politicians to have the will to eradicate it by fighting against poverty, promiscuity, overcrowding, and by treating sulfur.
The cardiologists drawn from the different parts of the world say they are determined to work harder in order to mitigate the effects of the public health problem on Cameroonians and Africans in general.
Tropical Cyclone Gombe is expected to hit the northern part of Mozambique this evening or tomorrow morning, with winds going as fast as 160 kilometers per hour and very heavy rainfalls. It has been upgraded from tropical storm to tropical cyclone because of its wind speed. Authorities in Mozambique say it could be the most severe weather system to hit the country this season. The provinces of Cabo Delgado, Zambezia, Sofala, and Nampula are now on alert. And Nampolo is already suffering torrential rains and strong winds in the area of Iha, the Mozambique, and Mozambique's disaster relief body says 18 boats and 7 mobile bridges deployed during January's tropical storm Anna are ready for use. Now in sports, the governor of the Littoral region of the Republic of Cameroon, Samuel Dieudonné Vahadiboa, has challenged players of Lesastro Football Club to bring back the Cup of Cameroon to Douala. Samuel Dieudonné Vahadiboa was speaking during a reception of the players earlier today before their departure for Yaoundé, where they will play the Cameroon Cup final against PWD of Bamenda. Smantika Gabriel reports.
The players of AST at the Littoral Governor's office. The players have come to take blessings from Samuel Dieudonné Vahadiboa before traveling to Yaoundé to play in the 2021 edition of the Cameroon Cup finals.
The
wait has been long, but during this period, the administration of the club has done all for us to win the cup.
L'administration s'est bien préparée pour que les joueurs soient très bien dans la tête et je pense que nous partons gonfler à bloc pour ramener ce trophée.
We didn't come here for a safari trip. We've received the blessings and it's left for us now to do our own part by winning the cup. The meeting was an occasion for the governor to challenge the players of AST to bring back the trophy to Douala.
Vous avez 2 défis.
You have 2 challenges, and the first is that you don't have to lose in front of the governor, because I have led other teams to Yaoundé for the finals and I have always been victorious. We are going to win together because you are the players and I'm going to sit on the tribune. I have never been disgraced by any team I travel with, and anytime I'm in Yaoundé is to return with a trophy.
J'ai été avec les équipes de l'Ouest et chaque fois que je suis descendu à Yaoundé, c'était toujours pour rentrer avec un trophée.
The call of the governor didn't fall on deaf ears as the head coach of Lesastro of Douala promises to work hard to win the trophy.
La lourde responsabilité qui nous incombe désormais.
The responsibility is now on us to go defend the reputation of the entire littoral region. We have all it takes to make this 4th attempt a successful one.
Pour faire de cette 4e tentative véritablement un succès.
Lesastro of Douala will be clashing against PWD of Bamenda this Sunday in a delayed Cup of Cameroon final match that was supposed to play in 2021. Ahead of this game, the Abakwa boys have also been preparing hard in Bamenda. This will be Lesastre of Douala's 4th attempt to get the Cup of Cameroon trophy.
Manzi Gabriel reporting the latest information streaming into our newsroom indicates that several inhabitants of Esenge neighborhood in the Douala 1 subdivision are still stranded, still having it very difficult to come out of the situation brought to bear on them by the forceful eviction exercise by the Douala Seaport, and over 2,400 homes were demolished in that area of the country's economic capital, Douala, including health infrastructures and even schools brought down in that neighborhood over the land dispute between the people occupying the land and who have been there for several years, and the Douala Seaport claiming ownership of that portion of land and indicating that those who have been living there have been illegally occupying that land. However, some of them are presenting documents to show proof of legal ownership of the portions of land on which they built their homes and have been living there, and they built the homes several years ago, and they have been living there. They are really lamenting because of the difficult situation in which they find themselves today. From me, Armstrong Sander comes back to this.
A bitter Friday night, breaking Saturday, February the 5th, 2022, in the Esenge neighborhood of the city of Douala. Inhabitants were brutally woken from sleep by merciless bulldozers in a destruction spree that reduced their lifetime investments to nothing.
Last month, they decided the people of God will come and judge before any other thing. My husband is a colonel. He has worked for 32 years in this military. Even it is what, with all what he has worked for the government with 12 children, they come and put me 45 rooms like this. I don't know where to stand or to start, because I'm outside for 3 days, since on Friday to today. I don't know where to go. I don't know the type of country. I don't know the type of judgment that we are living here. I don't know where the children they're schooling here. I don't even know what to do. They are sleeping outside a whole colony. They should ask the government, is the Pope who signed the regime because of the accident that he has? What are we suffering in this country? They better kill us. We don't know what to do. There's nowhere to go.
A demolition exercise reducing some 2,400 houses to zero from the total of 2,500 houses in the Esenge neighborhood of the city of Douala. A frustrating situation for locals who say they watch their lifetime investments vanishing in few hours. Frustrated as his neighbors, this Cameroonian soldier says he has never regretted being a Cameroonian until that bitter Friday night. He returned from a mission defending the territorial integrity of Cameroon, but saw his 15 million house destroyed and his wife and children missing.
Hier soir, voici là où était ma maison. Donc comme vous voyez là, je sais même pas là où mes enfants et madame se trouvent à cet instant. La première fois que j'ai eu le dégoût d'être Camerounais.
Basic social structures like this local school were also not left out by the merciless bulldozers from the Douala Port Authority.
L'éducation que moi j'ai donnée à mes enfants, est-ce que ça serait la même éducation? C'est ça que je pleure.
An incomprehensive situation which, according to the locals, failed to respect the limit and their rights.
Personne n'a reçu un seul franc, un seul radis.
While majority of the local population in Esenge remain extremely devastated and frustrated by the demolition exercise, others are building courage to pick up pieces from the rubbles.
Unfortunately, our guest for Talking Point today, Professor Justine Defoe Junkam, Civil Society Leader, Coordinator of More Women in Politics, is not yet online, and so we're not going to be having Talking Point today. We'll be back tomorrow. Stay with us.
Equinoxe Télévision, au-delà de l'image, nous rendons compte.